Kula. Nanda Patni, the wife of Nanda Maharaj. Cha, also, Jatam, a child was born. Param, the Supreme Person. Abudhyata, could understand. Na, not, Tatlingam, whether the child was male or female. Parishranta, because of too much labor. Nidraya, when overwhelmed with sleep. Apagata smritihi, having lost consciousness. Translation. Exhausted by the labor of childbirth, Yashoda was overwhelmed with sleep and unable to understand what kind of child had been born to her. Purport. Nanda Maharaj and Vasudeva were intimate friends, and so were their wives Yashoda and Devaki. Although their names were different, they were practically non-different personalities. The only difference is that Devaki was able to understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead had been born to her and had now changed into Krishna, whereas Yashoda was not able to understand what kind of child had been born to her. Yashoda was such an advanced devotee that she never regarded Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but simply loved him as her own child. Devaki, however, knew from the very beginning that although Krishna was her son, he was the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Vrindavan, no one regarded Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When something very wonderful happened because of Krishna's activities, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, the coward man, the coward boys, Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda, and the others, were surprised, but they never considered their son Krishna the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sometimes they suggested that some great demigod had appeared there as Krishna. In such an exalted status of devotional service, a devotee forgets the position of Krishna and intensely loves the Supreme Personality of Godhead without understanding his position. This is called Kevala Bhakti and is distinct from the stages of Jnana and Jnanamaya Bhakti. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 10th canto, 3rd chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam titled The Birth of Lord Krishna. Om Ajnanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Salakaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yad Kripatamaham Bande Shri Gurum Dinataranam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So, exhausted by the labor of childbirth, Yashoda was overwhelmed with sleep and unable to understand what kind of child had been born to her. So there is Mahamaya and Yogamaya. And obviously, Yashoda and the Brijavasis, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, were under the spell of Yogamaya. It was not ignorance of who is God, but they loved Krishna so much that they didn't care if he was God or not. There was no calculation. Okay, if he's God, I'm going to love him. If not, let's see. There was no such calculation. And that's the difference between Jnanamaya Bhakti and Kevala Bhakti. It means there was no external cause to love Krishna, but just to love him. Once Prabhupada said, don't try to understand Krishna, just love him. No? I mean, how much we can understand, that's also limited, you know. He's unlimited. I was once giving a lecture in Mexico City, And one man asked the question, rather a challenge. He said, well, you're saying that we are limited and God is unlimited. I say, yes. Then what we are doing here wasting our time? Because if we can understand God, then He stopped being unlimited. I told him, yes, you're right. But at the same time, God being unlimited, He can't reveal Himself to those who are limited, then He also stopped being unlimited. I mean, He can reveal Himself. That's the secret of Bhakti Yoga. It's a revelation. It's not by mental power or intellectual power we are going to understand God, but by His mercy, by Himself revealing Himself. And how we know about Krishna? Because we are receiving the truth about Krishna from Guru Parampara, through Srila Prabhupada, pure devotee of Krishna. So do we know the truth about Krishna? I just came from Phoenix. We had many home programs there, and people asking so many questions. A lot of children too, very curious to know. But it's something amazing that most people who don't know the truth about Krishna, although they were born in that culture, in that country, everything, still they don't know. Because unless you are under the guidance of a pure devotee, you will not understand the truth about Krishna. No? You will mix up different ideas and philosophies. Yes, Krishna, but this also and that other one too. And no proper. Or they were asking me a question that we understand that Krishna came out of Vishnu. Is the 8th avatar of Vishnu. I told him that's the general understanding, because when Krishna came to this world, I mean, all avatar comes through the agency of Kshirodakashayi Vishnu, Paramatma, but not Krishna. If you read Bhagavatam, we accept the authority of Bhagavat Purana, it is said very clearly, Etecham sakala pumsam Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, that all other avatars, including Vishnu, Narayan, everyone, is coming from Krishna. He is the original, Swayam Bhagavan, Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they were surprised to hear this, because they never heard it before. So here, this was particular pastime. I mean, Prabhupada is saying the only difference between Devaki and Yashoda is Devaki was aware that Krishna was the Supreme Personality of God, and Yashoda didn't. It seems like in the spiritual world, to be ignorant of that is highest than to know. And in the material world, it's the all opposite. It's better to know in the material world. But anyway, what we are trying to attempt here is, first of all, we have to be completely convinced that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. When achieve perfection, then we have to forget it forever. That's the perfection. Vrindavan humor, Vrindavan Lila, you forget that. First we have to be fully convinced. That's paradoxical, isn't it? But that's the way Krishna likes things to be done, for His pleasure. So when Krishna appeared in Kamsa's jail, he didn't appear as a baby. He appeared grown up, dressed up, with ornaments, garlands, jewels, everything, with 4 arms to his parents, Vasudeva and Devaki. Then Devaki prayed to Krishna to become a baby. She wanted to show some motherly love, so to please his mother, he became a baby. But what happened to the 6 brothers that Krishna had that Kamsa killed? Who were they? And why they were killed? What's the reason behind it? The Shastra is explained that before they were the grandsons of Lord Brahma. They were demigods. But they offended their grandfather, Brahma, and because of that offense, they fell down and they became the sons of Hiranyakashipu. Although they had a nice brother, Prahlad Maharaj, they didn't take advantage of his association. Rather, they took advantage of the association of other demons. So they even offended their father Hiranyakashipu, so much that the father cursed them. Hiranyakashipu cursed them, "In the future your own father will kill you." That was the curse. So on their next birth after that, they were born as the sons of another demon called Kalanemi. This Kalanemi died at the hand of Lord Vishnu in a fight between the Devatas and Asuras. And then this Kalanemi became Kamsa in his next life. And they became the sons of Devaki. So Kamsa killed his own children from past life without his knowledge. That what actually happened there. But now, when Krishna killed Kamsa and released his parents from jail, Devaki prayed to Krishna, "Can you please bring these children? I didn't have time to show my motherly love to them. Please be kind and bring me back those 6 children." They were conditioned souls. And Krishna, by his amazing power, he brought them back to life as small babies, small children. They could walk. So Devaki felt so much motherly love that milk started flowing from her breast, and she was starting to feed all of them. Now, when Krishna asked his father, Vasudeva, to take him to Gokula, before that, Devaki thought, "Oh, let me give Krishna my breast milk so he will not feel thirsty on the way there." So that milk became Maha Prasad. No? So when this 6 conditioned soul took that milk, they became immediately liberated souls, instantly, by Krishna's mercy, instantly. So Krishna is very wonderful, very kind to his devotees. He fulfilled their desires. To have him as a son or lover or a friend or a master, he fulfilled all pure desires of his devotees. But anyone, doesn't matter if one has material desire or not, one should worship the Supreme Lord. Akama sarva kamo va moksha kamo daradi tibrena bhakti yogena yayata purusham param. The Bhagavatam explains that either one is free from all material desires, akama, the condition of pure devotees, or sarvakama, full of desires, or mokshakama, desire for liberation, tibrena bhakti yogena. One should engage in bhakti yoga because that will take us to the highest goal in life, highest achievement in life. And what is that? According to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Prema Pumarto Maha. The highest goal is to achieve love of Godhead, Krishna prayer. So, on the way to Gokula, there was a storm. I was coming here yesterday and there was an electric storm. They have to deviate the flight to Illinois, another airport, to get fuel, and was to arrive at 4:30, arrived at 7:30, 3 hours later, because of the electric storm. But I would like to have to seen it, but anyway, it wasn't. Any of you did see the electric storm? Not through here, not nearby. Anyway, so Anantashesha came because Krishna was being carried by his father in a basket on his head. And Anantashesha came and covered Krishna so he will not get wet from the rain. And when he was crossing the Yamuna wanted to touch Krishna's lotus feet, so she overflowed and was able to touch his lotus feet. Anyway, when Nanda Maharaj left at midnight, Vasudeva left at midnight, and he received the instruction from Krishna that you exchange me for a girl that was just born to Yashoda, and due to the labor of giving birth, he doesn't know if it was a boy or a girl. That's a difficult thing to accept, Any mother when gives birth immediately wants to know if it's a boy or a girl. But this is Yoga Maya and the work, So it happened this way according to Krishna's desire. So when Vasudeva arrived there, but one moment, if Vasudeva left at midnight, what time he did arrive in Gokula? By walking. How much time you think will take a person walking from Mathura to Vrindavan, to Gokula? How much time? Takes few hours, at least, or more. But when Krishna wants to achieve something, he does amazing things. In the spiritual world, Vrindavan, even here on earth, is like a lotus flower. So when Krishna wants to go on the same day to a faraway place and come back, which is mathematically, unless you go like Flash or something, Krishna makes the petal closes so the distance will be shorter to cross. And that's what Krishna did. So his father will reach, without much time. Anyway, so when he arrived there was a girl. So Vasudeva put the girl, took the boy. Put the boy, took the girl. But the thing is, Jiva Goswami explains that Krishna was born simultaneously in Kamsa's jail and also in Gokula at the same time. But he was, that means Yashoda had twins, but Krishna wasn't visible to the eye. He was not manifested to the eye. So when Vasudeva came and put Krishna on the bed, he entered the body of Krishna of Vrindavan, who was already there. You may get a little confused by all this elaborate, intricate details, but that's how Krishna likes to do things, mysteriously, crookedly even sometimes, that whatever gives him enjoyment is good. Krishna is one. Some people misunderstand that there is three Krishna, one Vrindavan Krishna, one Mathura Krishna, one Dwarka Krishna, but that's not correct. It's only one Krishna. He can expand himself. So Krishna never leaves Vrindavan, but when he does, to kill some demons in some other place, then he expands as Vasudeva Krishna, and Balaram expands as Sankarsha. That's the way he does it. Anyway, so and the next morning they called a lady who does the Jata Karma ceremony. Jata Karma means cutting the umbilical cord. But there was no cord to cut. And they were happy to have Krishna, as their son. But wait a minute. Krishna was dark blue. Have you seen some, what you call, humor story, video? They show a couple, both white, and they have suddenly a boy who's black. How the father will take it that the mother cheated on him, isn't? There is no other way to explain it, no? But in this particular pastime, it's amazing that Krishna does things in certain way that nobody can actually understand what's going on. Even sometimes Krishna playing with his friends, they will tell him, "You are not the son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. You are too dark colored to be their son." And that makes Krishna cry and go to his mother, and she will console him, "No, I'm your mother, be assured of that," All this drama, going on. Anyway, some time ago, we had a Ratha Yatra in Mexico City, and we put on the stage the three deities, Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, the big deities of Jagannath. And one man, he approached me, he said, "This is the first time I'm coming to your festival, and can you please explain to me what these three figures up there means?" So I told him, the black one, that is Jagannath, the Lord of the universe, God, Krishna. The white one is his brother, Balaram. And in the middle is their sister, Subhadra. He looked at me and looked at them, and then he said, "Yes, I can see their family members." Generally, you have brother or sister, they have the same color as you, usually. Then I took advantage to tell him, "Look, God is showing us by appearing in this way that He doesn't make discrimination between white and black or yellow or red or whatever. He loves everyone the same without any discrimination of race or color or sex or whatever." He was happy with that explanation. Anyway, so Krishna's pastime are full of wonder and beautiful and transcendental. So, here very nicely Prabhupada explaining that when Krishna will do some wonderful thing, the inhabitants of Vrindavan, maybe Krishna is a demigod who took birth among us. They never think he's God or anything. Or sometimes they think maybe he's Narayan, but maybe not. Maybe he's a Devata. For example, when Krishna lifted Govardhan Hill, for 7 days, Mother Yashoda thought, that is not possible. A little child, 7 years old, he can't lift mountain like that. It's not possible. So how they did it then? Because I saw him with my own eyes. Oh, that's because my very good husband, Nanda Maharaj, he worshipped and pleased Lord Narayana. And by the blessing of Lord Narayana, that's why Krishna was able to lift the Govardhan Hill. Otherwise, not possible. So that's the way of their thinking, No matter what Krishna does, they're never convinced, so to speak, that He is the Supreme Personality of God. Because that's out of love, not out of ignorance, but out of pure love. So, there is one pastime I would like to share with you from a book called, what is the name of that book anyway, I will remember the name while telling the story. What is the name of that poet that is the son of Shivananda Sena? Kavi Karnapur. It's a book by Kavi Karnapur, Ananta Vrindavan Champu. Thank you. In that book there is one pastime, beautiful pastime, that one evening Mother Yashoda was busy and she asked the gopis to give Krishna his dinner. So the gopis brought varieties of sweet for Krishna. Rasgulla, Sandesh, Burfi, Pera, Rasmalai, different varieties of sweets. And they asked him, Krishna, what would you like to eat more? Krishna said, well, I actually want to eat that condensed butter up there. He pointed to the moon. There was a golden full moon that night. So Krishna said, I want to eat that condensed butter. The gopis start to laugh. Krishna, that's not butter. That's a Rajahamsa, royal swan. Krishna said, then bring it to me, I can play with him. Then Yashoda came and Krishna complained to her. Mother, I want to eat this condensed butter, but the gopis say it is a swan. Mother Yashoda said, Krishna is right. It is correct to call the moon butter because when the Devatas and Asuras churned the milk ocean, the moon was born. So to say that the moon is condensed butter is correct. When Krishna heard that, he said, a milk ocean? How many cows were needed to create such an ocean? And Yashoda said, no, there was no need of any cows. Krishna said, I don't believe that. If there are no cows, there is no milk. Not possible. You know, some years ago in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, the TV went to school and they were asking the children from where the milk comes. And all of them said from the pot, from the, different type of containers. But no one said cow. They were city boys. They never saw a cow in their life. Only on TV maybe. But Krishna knew there is no cow, no milk. But then Mother Yashoda told him, Krishna, you're an innocent boy, village boy. Let me explain to you. The creator of all the cows can create a milk ocean without the need of the cow. Krishna said, wow, that's wonderful. Never heard about that before. Thank you for explaining to me. Okay, let me have it then. No. Do you see those black spots on the moon? Those are poison. If you eat that butter, you will get sick. So better not. Krishna said, I don't believe that. Cobras have poison, scorpions have poison, but the condensed butter, I don't believe it. Yashoda said, you're a simple village boy, let me explain to you. When the Devatas and Asuras were churning the milk ocean, the first wave that came out was poison. And to save the world, Mahadev, Lord Shiva, kept that poison in his neck without swallowing it. But some drops fell from his hand to the ocean and they got stuck on the moon, which was below, still there. And some drops fell on the shore, and some animals like snakes and scorpions and cobras, etc., they drank this poison. That's why they became poisonous. So that's not good for you. Krishna said, all right, give me then all the sweet, I'm very hungry. And then Yashoda took him to bed. And Krishna asked his mother, can you please tell me a story before going to sleep? Krishna liked that too, That's why nowadays children also like to hear stories. But they should be told stories about Krishna. Anyway, so Mother Yashoda was telling the story of Ramayana to Krishna. And when she came to the part that Ravana came and kidnapped Sita, Krishna was half asleep. But even then, with his eyes closed, he started to shout, Lakshman, Lakshman, bring my arrow, bring my bow. I have to kill this Ravana. And then fell asleep again. Yashoda was surprised, Krishna's reaction. Anyway, so to understand the truth about Krishna is most important. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita it is said, Jamma karma chame divyam evam yoveti tattvataha Tyaktadeham purnar jamma naiti mameti sorjuna. that those who understand my Jamma and Karma, birth and activities, to be divya, transcendental, they are not born again in this material world. Naiti mameti sorjuna. They come rather to me, say Krishna. So that's how important is to understand the truth about Krishna's birth and activities. I mean, to say, we can't understand completely, but whatever is we are receiving from Guru Parampara and whatever revelation we may get by execution of devotional service, that is good enough to take us back home, back to God, and to develop our love and attraction to Krishna. You see in the sky many varieties of birds fly. Some birds can fly higher than others, but they are all flying on the same sky. In the same way, although there is the varieties of transcendentalists, their aim is also Krishna. Maybe in Brahman, some are followers of Gyanakanda want to merge in Brahman. And wants to, others may want to merge in Paramatma or absorb in Paramatma. And others want to serve Bhagavan. Even the servants of Bhagavan are of different categories. Those who worship the Lord with awe and reverence, they will go to Vaikuntha. And those who worship with natural attraction, spontaneous love, then they can go to Goloka. Actually, our goal is not Goloka. Our goal is Gokula. Gokula, not Goloka. Because according to the Acharyas, when devotee in this human life achieve perfection, meaning develop his love for Krishna, he doesn't go when he dies to the spiritual world. He goes to another universe in the material world where Krishna is performing his pastimes. And there has to be born from a womb of a gopi, and in whatever rasa he already developed, that will be, he will be trained by the eternal associates of Krishna, either as a cowherd boy or a gopi or a servant or father, mother, whatever. So that's the way. Then after that, Krishna takes all the inhabitants of Vrindavan to Goloka, then he goes there. It's not that he arrived there and who's this newcomer? Nobody knows. Something like that happened to Lord Shiva, Lord Shiva wanted to see the Ras Lila dance. So he went to Purnamasi, Yogamaya, and asked her favor to help him see the Ras Lila. But Yogamaya informed him that in male form nobody can enter to see the Ras Lila. You have to have a female form. He said, I'm ready to do it. What do I have to do? Okay, take bath in this kunda. He came out as a little gopi. And she told him, hide in the bushes and from there you can see the dance. So he was hiding there in ecstasy, watching the beautiful dance and music. But then Krishna stopped the dance. He said, I feel somebody here shouldn't be here. Gopis, go find who's there. So the gopis found Shiva as a little girl. And they start interrogating her. What's your name? What's the name of your father and mother-in-law? From which village are you? What's the name of your husband? Are you sent by Kamsa? So Shiva couldn't answer any of these questions. So they were slapping him, interrogating him. Speak. Then Purnamasi came. No. She's under my protection. She's Mahadev. So Krishna gave blessing. Okay. You stay at the door and don't allow anybody who's not qualified to enter. That will be your service. So that's why in the Vrindavan there is a temple of Gopeshwar Mahadev. And every evening they dressed him as a gopi to go do his service. Because he stayed at the door not as Shiva, but as this gopi, Gopishwar. No? Anyway, the conclusion that an exalted status of devotional service, the devotee forget the position of Krishna. Forget means he knows. You may know something, but you may forget it. Isn't it? And the reason they forget is because of intense love. That's the reason. They love Krishna so much that they just forget that He's the Supreme Lord. Because otherwise, how can Yashoda chastise Krishna thinking Him is God? You know? Like once Jagannath Mishra, he was chastising his son, Nimai Pandit, because some Brahmin came to complain about his behavior, that we are taking bath in the Ganga, and Nimai comes, start pulling our legs, and we are chanting Gayatri, is disturbing us, and fill his mouth with water and spit it on us, so we have to take another bath. They don't know they got double purification. Because the Ganges come from the lotus feet of the Lord, and He's throwing water at them with His mouth. They get even higher purification, but they were not in Yoga Maya. Anyway, so then at night, Jagannath Mishra had a dream, and a Devata appeared to him, was telling him, you can't speak to your son like that. You can't chastise him like that. You know that he is the same Supreme Lord, Narayan Himself. And in the dream, Jagannath Mishra was arguing, he may be whoever may be, I don't care. He's my son. If he misbehaves, it's my duty to correct him. He can be God, I don't care. So that's love, that's pure love, you know. That's higher than the awe and reverence that the Vaikuntha inhabitants have. No? It's nice, it's pure love, it's great, but Krishna, He likes more spontaneous, no? Without awe and reverence. And for that, there is a need to forget that He is Swayam Bhagavan Krishna, only just beautiful. I have many friends, but I love Krishna, is my best friend, like that. So thank you very much for the opportunity to speak Bhagavatam. Any comments or questions? Yes.
Thank you for the class, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
I just would like to know, in the Vaidhi Bhakti stage, Sadhana Bhakti stage, is it necessary for us to approach Krishna in awe and reverence just so we can develop the understanding that Krishna is God? And then when that transition from Vaidhi Bhakti transforms into Raganuga Bhakti, is that when the awe and reverence stage kind of starts to deplete and spontaneous love starts to manifest? Just speak on that.
Well, yes, it's a gradual process, of course, so to speak. I mean, actually, we are following Raganuga Bhakti in the sense that Rupa Goswami explained Raganuga Bhakti from Shraddha to Prema. That's different stages. But Prabhupada always explained that somebody is doing the deity worship, for example, out of duty, because the Guru asked him to wake up early and go and do it. But then after some time, he gets purified and he starts developing attraction, spontaneously decorating and doing new things and understand. So it's a question of purification and also the attraction of the heart. Somebody maybe from the very beginning be attracted more to the although following the sadhana, Raganuga is also sadhana. You have to follow the same things that the other Vaidhi Bhakti follows also. But the inner mood, what is different? That is what is different. So that's only by the Guru and Krishna's mercy. You just can't say, okay, I'm gonna now have this. It doesn't happen that way. Or I did enough sadhana, now I must be in Raganuga. It doesn't happen that way either. It's only by Krishna's mercy and to have the association of advanced devotee that have it, and we may get sprinkled by it. It's like in a very, very hot day, if you approach a waterfall and there is wind, the drops of water will refresh you, you know? And like that, that's the association of pure devotees will help us develop some attraction for a spontaneous love. And although we may not have it, but we feel some attraction that can, if we cultivate it, we can grow up. No? Can grow up. So I hope that answered your question. Any other question?
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Haribol.
So in Goloka Vrindavan, the majority of devotees are at such a state of love for the Lord that they're unaware that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead?
Everyone, not the majority, everyone.
Is at that state?
Yes, everyone. They forget that Krishna is God. Out of intense love, not out of ignorance. They already knew, otherwise, it's not question of not knowing, they know, but they forget. Not due to ignorance, but their extreme love, they don't care, For example, a man could be prime minister of a country, very big post. But when he goes to see his mother, the mother is not like, here comes the prime minister. If he misbehaves, she will take him from the ear, She may sit her in the lap, even a grown-up man.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mark.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
When you speak about cultivating love of Godhead,
yes,
what are ways that we can cultivate love of Godhead, being in this material world?
Yes.
That we can practically apply to our daily lives.
Well, there is no question of love without surrender. And to prove our surrender to Krishna, we have to follow Krishna's rules. No meat eating, no gambling, no illicit sex, no intoxication. And chanting 16 rounds without fail. By doing these things, we are showing our surrender. We accept what is favorable and reject what is unfavorable. And take only Krishna Prasad. Then if we do these things, we are surrendered. And if we don't do them, we are not surrendered. And there is no question of love without surrender. So whatever activity or family or job, whatever, doesn't matter. We just have to follow these things. And also those who are married devotee should follow the example of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He was a magistrate, great devotee. He had a large family, 11 children. But he prayed to Krishna, my dear Krishna, if I work to maintain this family, it's because this is your home, this is your wife, these are your children. I'm only your servant. Nothing belongs to me. Manasa deho geho yo kichumor arpiluntua pade nanda kishore. I offer you my mind, my body, my home. That's the standard of pure devotion. So any devotee in family life can achieve also perfection following the footsteps of great personalities like Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Yes, please.
Maharaj, in the purport there was mentioned that Yasoda and Devaki were practically the same personalities. And I wondered if you could kindly spell it out.
Well, it is said in Shastra that another name of Yashoda is also Devaki. In that sense. It is explained, isn't? Another name of Yashoda is also Devaki. So that's why Prabhupada explained the purport, that both are the same, no difference. And Prabhupada explained the only difference that Devaki she knows Krishna as the Supreme Personality of God, and Yashoda doesn't. But besides that, in every other respect, they are mothers of Krishna. So they are on the same level. In that sense.
Maharaj, very nice class.
Thank you.
But, I got little confusion between Golaka and Gokul.
Yes.
So, can you please give a little elaborate about, because
actually many Gaudiya Vaishnavas consider Gokula Vrindavan higher than Goloka, more sweet, because when Krishna came to the material world, he plays the part of birth and baby. In Goloka there is no such birth and baby pastime like that, only in Gokula. See? So that's why great devotee like Sundar, he prays Krishna's birth and childhood activity as more sweet even, because more human-like, is more easy to relate to in that way. So there is actually no difference between Gokula and Goloka. Both are the spiritual world. But in Gokula, there is a chance to accept newcomers. Soul who got liberated, they have the chance to join Krishna's family, become part of it. So that's even more merciful. Krishna's attracting many souls to join him. Like, for example, the sages of Dandakaranya, there were thousands of them, 100,000 of them. And when they saw Ramchandra, they were worshipping Gopal and Madhurya Rasa. But when they saw Lord Ramchandra, they felt attraction because very beautiful. So they expressed their desire to become next life wives. But he said, I'm going to bless you to become gopis in your next life, so you can dance with Krishna. I only have one wife. That's it. Ekapatni brat. So Krishna is more liberal, And so Gokula offered this opportunity for pure devotee to join and be part of Krishna Lila. In one sense, Gokula is more important for us than Goloka because there is a chance there. There is opportunity there. And we can't go to Goloka before going first to Gokula anyway. It's not possible to go directly to Goloka. It's not that is not the way to do it. We have to get the training by eternal associates how to serve Krishna in that particular humor that one has developed. That's the way it is. That's the way Krishna made it. All right. Yes, he has a question.
Hare Krishna Maharaji. So I was wondering that you said about sixth son of Mother Devaki.
Yes.
And you said something about Hiranyakashipu.
Yes.
So now Hiranyakashipu, I remember that he had 4 sons. Like, you know, I mean, I don't know, maybe he had more, but at least it is stated that he had 4 sons and 1 daughter. So now over here you're saying 6 sons.
Well,
so if there is anything you could say, I mean, I don't know, but I'm just saying.
Well, I mean to say, different Puranas may give different varieties of information sometimes, may vary one to the other. But the truth is that there is possibility of further information. We may have read in one part as 4 and maybe in some other more. So the information that gives more information, that is the latest information. The other one is true also, but then more was added. That's the way to understand it. I hope that answered your questions.
That's it. I mean, just out of curiosity. It's not that I'm.
I understand. I understand. But
because both statements are in Srimad Bhagavatam.
Yes.
The first statement is also in Srimad Bhagavatam, and what you're saying is also in Srimad Bhagavatam. That is why I'm asking.
Well, not exactly Srimad Bhagavatam, but other Puranas.
Okay.
Like Brahma Vaivarta Purana, Garga Samhita. They are also bona fide scriptures. So to quote from them is also bona fide. Although may differ in details, little details sometimes, but since they are Shastra, they are scriptures, we accept their authority. No? Sometimes we even see great acharyas having different opinions, like Jiva Goswami and Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, for example, about some details. And Prabhupada explained that both are right, because one sees it from one angle, the other sees it from a different angle. But it's the same Leela being revealed to them in different ways. I mean, Krishna is so broad and so expansive and so unlimited, he may reveal in different ways to different pure devotees. No? He may reveal something more to one than the other, but it's the same absolute truth. We follow Shastra, Guru and Sadhu. So if this is one of these 3 sources, is authorized. Any other last question or comments? All right, thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanandi Haribo.